Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Lichess Puzzles. Or is it Lichess? I have bishop battery. The queen is in danger. What happens if I move queen up? They can't take rook because they're in check. They could push with the pawn. I would threaten the king. Actually, that's very forcing. There's only one move that he can do there. And then I can set up with the rook. Oh, my internet's not going so great, so I thought maybe puzzles would be a bit better, but it looks like puzzles also not too great. I can't just take the pawn immediately because then bishop takes. And the queen is what's defending the rook, so I have to remember that the rook is hanging, as is bishop potentially, but I still think giving the check and then taking the pawn if they move that, or trying to find some way in, probably by moving the rook up. Oh! Yeah, after I move the rook up, they don't really have a way out. So I take this, it's still check, right? So there's only one place they can go. That's scripted, and that's mate. Okay. Plus 15 off the first puzzle. Find the best move for black. Okay, if I push this pawn, takes, push, takes. I don't know, I think pushing this pawn is actually an idea. Trying to scooch over to free the right one, even though it doesn't really have anything, I think is not the move here. Now, do I want to push the pawn or get out ahead of it? I don't really know if there's a difference. Well, the thing is, if I push the pawn, I make them choose which way to go. Whereas if I move the king, they can just start scooching the king over, trying for this pawn that's more dangerous. So I think it's just push, and then now I push this pawn and you can't chase it. I could move up. The king will never catch is the thing. Yeah, the king can't catch me. Or the pawn. Alright, find the best move for white. So what I want to do here is what do I want to do here? Taking the knight is an interesting move because it threatens the queen and it also hangs my own, so that's really good. I could just back it up with the bishop. I really like where the queen is here, though. I could deliver a check. There's no way that's good. That's not good, that's not good. The rook is covering 2 out of 3 of the squares, and the queen covers the other squares. If I had, like, bishop right there, that would be mate. Is there a way to distract the rook, maybe? I don't know, I feel like I just want to get out of danger here. If I play too aggro and push the pawn, the queen gets trapped. So there's only one safe move. There's only one safe move here, which is right there. Ooh, actually, I could go back further. What's the benefits to that? I could take and then attack with a rook, and I'm on that open file. I maybe can transition that into mate. Probably not, though. But that knight can't really get away. And I have the bishop as well. It sort of diverts pressure away from this knight as well. I think taking is the move. Now, I either threaten the knight or the rook. If I threaten the rook, it just moves over. That's like a fake threat. I have so many options in this position. Like, castling is a move, but I don't know, I feel like just keep the attack on. Because then I'm threatening taking either the knight or the pawn. Either way, I get more out of it. Right, find the best move for black. Just move the queen over. I can't move the queen to this space because knight protects. I could do something kind of interesting here. So I'm looking on the left side of the board. On the right side of the board, I'm somewhat in trouble. Because on the queen's next move, they can fork the king and queen. I could move the knight up. I could move the knight up. That's a very interesting idea. But I don't think it works. I think we just take the sacrifice and then we get a check on the king. I feel like we can transition that into mate. No, after that I move there. Moves up. It's definitely not this. It's not that because it's x-raying my queen. Is it this? It is not that. Okay, I feel like that move has some promise. Because the bishop is trapped, kind of. There's gotta be something really good I'm not seeing. Oh, the pawn is stuck. The pawn is stuck. I can't go there because knight takes, but I can do this first. And because it's forced, it's very good. Okay, so I missed this, but the pawn is pinned, so they can't take. The knight there is scary as it looks, and then you sacrifice the queen first because it's mate unless they take it. And then afterwards it is mate. For certain. Okay. I feel like I'm getting these. Moving the knight back is an interesting move. Can I push it? Oh my gosh. No. That's so bad. That's so bad. I was thinking after king takes, we can pin it with the rook. But if queen takes, that rook is in danger. Which is really bad. Why did the knight move there? What's it afraid of? Is just absent-mindedly attacking the queen a good idea? I think it is. The queen's forced to go either there or there, and we can just take out options with knight. You know, keep poking at it. Yeah, the queen is very trapped there. Only having 2 spaces to go means you should probably just go for it. Find the best move for black. Why is taking bad? Because it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this... Oh, it's not me yet. Where do I have to go? Just take the rook. Oh, just move it down 1 space. Yeah, that's protected. Okay. Taking the rook there would have been a pretty big misplay. I have a feeling with where the... Oh, this is a very pretty idea. So, normally taking the pawn here and going for the rook wouldn't work, but because of this super high up pawn, the rook is actually takeable. Oh, although the queen's defending. What if I do this first? If I do that first, they have to commit to either going there or going there. Leaves them options. Actually, now that I think about it, they might be forced to use rook to defend. There's some interesting ideas at play. But I still think you just take the pawn there and you can threaten the... Can I use the knight? Well, if they move the rook, I get the pawn and threaten bishop. Okay. Yeah. Like, I could pin the king to the queen, except pawn is there. I don't think that's the greatest idea. I just take, right? It's just the simplest way to do it. Because it also threatens bishop. Bishop doesn't really have anywhere to escape to. What? Oh. That's mean. And then you take the rook. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that. I saw most of that, though. Find the best move for black in this situation. I'm seeing back rank mate as a possibility. I think it's just that you take this rook. Why wouldn't you take the rook? So the fear is that they're threatening mate on this square, right? But that's not true mate. Oh fuck, this is true mate. Right here, g7. I don't know. Is there any way of stopping that? The knight move is actually kind of solid here. This. Are you kidding me? It is the obvious move. And then what do you do? I can't put in check anymore. Can't go along the diagonal. Okay, so it's move order is the trick. You put them in check first, then you defend. Because if you just defend, then they can put rook there, takes, you're kind of pinned. Yeah, that's a tricky puzzle. Find the best move for black. This is gonna be some big brain shit where you push the pawn. Okay, can't take because my king is pinned. I could simply attack their queen. What's bad about that idea? I'm not seeing anything, so I think I'll just do it. Alright, what's the big brain play? Is it this? This? The pin? Oh, you just take... Okay. Right, you get rid of the pinning device, and then you take. Okay, yeah. Okay, if I push that pawn, it is undefended. That's not the greatest idea. If I take that knight, it is triple defended. I mean, this pawn here. I've got this rook on a really strong line, and I can move it so that it attacks two pieces. What is preventing me from doing so? Actually, what's preventing me from trading? Just move the queen up. If they ignore it, they're in a rough spot. Can't give any checks, so that's off the table. I think it's either queen to d5 or rook. But I think it probably likes the queen more because then it activates our knight. It does kind of become a target, admittedly. Whereas, what's the best option to cover f5? There's takes. Oh, this square is weak. It has 2 attackers, 1 defender. So, could defend with bishop. No, that doesn't work. Let's just take. Sometimes it's just about unpinning yourself, which is a possibility in that situation. We don't have any checks. We do have a queen battery potential. Why did that bishop move? Because it wants to get our rook. That's an interesting diagonal we have potentially if the pawn gets taken. I think we just do the easy move. Never mind. The easy move is bad, actually. Oh, do we get rid of the defender? It's not too bad. Am I overthinking this? Probably. I don't want to leave the knight hanging. Find the best move for black. Alright, 2 defenders on that pawn. Simply moving the bishop would bring it back to 3. Yeah, I can't do anything with the rooks. They're too tangled. Just add a defender. Yeah. Something like this. Why would they accept that trade? Let me analyze this. So they want that pawn. The queen... The queen is trapped. Damn it. How do I see that? How do I see that the queen is trapped? Alright, we got 3 more to go. Can go after the queen. Could try for a mate somewhere. We definitely have to address the queen being in danger here. Queen battery threatens mate. That doesn't seem like a bad move. What do they have? Oh, they have a knight fork. They would have had a checking knight fork on the rook if I just slid the rook over for a battery. So that's not the greatest move. My king is super penned in here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that actually... That's mate. Wow. Okay. Oh, this is just another back rank. What? 2 attacker... How do I use my brain? No, it's me. What? Oh. Was I getting ahead of myself there? Okay, so it takes... And if I just move up with the queen, they can move the rook down. And then mine is pinned, so I can't do that. Whereas taking the queen means that they have to either lose the rook, use the rook, or let it go. Or maybe hide the rook, which also doesn't work long term. That's a good puzzle though. I think we got one more. Best move for white. activate this rook and pin the queen. What? Is it takes? What? Why is this rook good and this rook is bad? That rook is in danger. Because they can take it. Alright, I gotta do one more. I'm too tilted to stop. So I see the check. They don't really have a great way to defend against it. So I think I do the check. I didn't really think this through. They don't have a check though. So I can threaten mate. Why is that not good? Does that not hurt them? Potential mate, they have to address it either by throwing away the queen on the bishop or doing something similarly destructive. Why is that not good? Take the knight. Last one. I see the fork. They do not really have a response to it because their light squared bishop isn't developed yet, so I think we just take the fork. Now it's threatening... what? Queen here, mate? Just castle? Oh, I can't castle. Just protect it? I mean... yeah. Okay, feel a little bit better after that one. So I want to just put them in check like an idiot, but the knight is there. They're threatening mate in 1. So whatever I do has to be decisive. Are they threatening mate in 1? I don't know if they're threatening mate in 1 because my rook is there. So I might just take this fork. only this bishop was on e7, then I could do the king-knight fork. The fork is this, by the way. Oh, wait. I have a better move. I was thinking bishop to d5, but queen there is somehow bad, I guess. Because they have this check. Just kind of an awkward check. I suppose it's an awkward check. I also do not like that. How do you see that? It's like you sacrifice the queen and then the rook and then you get made out of nowhere. Yeah, I don't know how you see that. But if you enjoyed this episode of Puzzles, I will see you on the next one.